A few years ago, Ford decided to kill virtually every passenger car in its lineup. It was questioned by many at the time, where did the cheap cars go? What you're looking at here is the answer to that. The 2022 Ford Maverick is part family car, part pickup truck. It's practical, it's efficient, and it's inexpensive. But is it any good? Let's take an in-depth look at the 2022 Ford Maverick Hybrid to find out. The Maverick is available in either a base hybrid trim or an EcoBoost gasoline-only version. We're going to take a look at the hybrid. In this video, we're going to show you some of the great features of the Maverick. We're going to show you how Ford is focusing on the DIY customer. We're also going to compare its price and combined fuel economy with similar vehicles. We'll also hit a few things we don't like and render a final verdict. The Ford Maverick is based on the Escape platform, which also underpins the Ford Bronco Sport. The hybrid version is the base engine option and is front-wheel drive only. The hybrid motor is a 2.5-liter Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder making 191 horsepower and 155 pound-feet of torque. A continuously variable transmission sends that power to the front wheels. The truck maintains a traditional 3-box design with a dedicated front area for the motor, a box for the cab, and a box for the bed. Up front, a trim strip connects the Ford logo in the center of the grille to the lighting elements on each side. Standard LED headlights help illuminate the night. Around the side, you'll notice that the Maverick only comes in a crew cab with 4 full-size doors. In the back, Ford calls its 4.5-foot bed a Flexbed, and is the first clue to the customization that owners can do. Dropping the tailgate exposes a QR code. Owners can scan that code and be taken to a Ford site specifically for modifying the Maverick. Ford will sell owners accessories like bike racks and adjustable bed rails, but the real genius is what else Ford will do. The website will show owners how to build their own accessories. There are step-by-step guides for a variety of DIY projects, including parts lists, so you can head to Home Depot and get everything you need. I've never seen an automaker embrace customer DIY before the way that Ford does with the Maverick, and I think it's awesome. My biggest complaint with the bed is actually with the tailgate itself. As you can see when I open it, it just drops without any support of a dampening spring. Ford didn't include that spring in order to save costs, but we think that it adds unnecessary stress to the tailgate and it just feels cheap. Inside is a traditional pickup truck 5-seat layout. Our Lariat trim has fake leather that Ford calls ActiveX seating. On Lariat trims, the seat covers are a nice shade of brown. The 8-inch infotainment screen also comes standard across all trims and features wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. In fact, it doesn't have a built-in navigation, so if you want a map, you'll have to use one of those options. Dual-zone climate control is also standard across all trims, which is really quite unique. At this price point, the best one can usually hope for is a single zone for the entire vehicle. The greatest part of the interior is how many storage cubbies there are. There's one next to the infotainment. There's several in the center console. The storage cubbies in the door can hold extremely large metal water bottles. It's all very well thought out. Yes, some of the materials, especially the ones that you don't regularly touch, are hard plastics and feel cheap. But at this truck's price, it's better than it could be. Plus, Ford is embracing the DIYer inside too. Ford created something called FITS, Ford Integrated Tether System, that can be used to mount accessories in the cab that the owner has 3D printed themselves. Want a specific size cup holder? No problem. Need a cargo divider for under the rear seats with your company logo on it? Easy. The possibilities are endless, and again, kudos to Ford for thinking about the buyer when designing the truck. Let's hop into the Maverick and get on the road. But before we do, take a moment to hit the subscribe button. It shows us what topics you like and helps us to produce more videos like the one you're watching. By the way, after the video is finished, jump into the comment section with any questions or thoughts you might have about the truck. We love continuing the discussion with you. Now that we're out driving on the road, a few things about the Maverick Hybrid are instantly noticeable. One is how smooth the powertrain is. Most modern hybrids and plug-in hybrids are pretty smooth with their transitions from gas to electric, but you'd think that maybe a small pickup truck, especially an inexpensive pickup truck, would be kind of not so great at that, with cost cutting and all of that. But no, it's actually a very smooth powertrain setup. Part of that is because it is a powertrain from the Ford Escape, which is also this entire platform's sort of basis. So when you drive it, it drives like a crossover. It feels like a Ford Escape or a Bronco Sport, and not so much like a big body on frame, heavy pickup truck. So if you're one of those people that maybe don't like how a modern truck drives, especially like going over bumps and railroad tracks and things like that. There's no real body or bed flex here because it's all a unibody construction, thanks to that escape platform. One innovative thing that Ford has done with the Maverick is provide the base level truck with the hybrid powertrain. So this hybrid powertrain delivers excellent fuel economy around town, driving on electricity nearly as much as it's driving on gas. Out on the highway, the economy drops a little bit, but I've seen numbers just fueling around town, 50 miles to the gallon, 60 miles to the gallon. This can be a really excellent, very fuel efficient around the town cruiser, while still at the same time having plenty of range for a cross-country trip if you needed to. While 190 some horsepower is enough for a vehicle like this, I would always like a little bit more. 230, 240 horsepower would help not only with navigating traffic, but also increase the tow rating from 2,000 pounds to somewhere in that 3,000 to 4,000 pound range. When you get to that level, then you're starting to talk about towing small RVs and stuff like that. So then it becomes more than just a toy hauler, but something you could really use to haul a lot of stuff. We're hoping that this truck will eventually get the plug-in hybrid powertrain from the Escape, which if that's the case, then that naturally comes with just a bit more horsepower. So if that's in the lineup, which I've heard things that it might be, that would be a fantastic update for this truck. The one last complaint I have is that this pickup truck doesn't have all-wheel drive available as a hybrid. So you can get it with the gas one, which is great, but trucks that don't have four-wheel drive tend to not have as much resale value because most folks that live in winter or snowy climates believe they have to have all-wheel drive for the winter. So I'd like to see that added at some point in the future, and they do have the capability of doing that because they have other hybrid and plug-in hybrids that have an electronic all-wheel drive system. I don't necessarily think you need it if you live in these snowy climates. I have friends that live in Canada that just throw snow tires on their front-wheel drive cars and they're okay. And with this being a front-wheel drive truck, all of that weight's on the traction wheels anyways, so you probably don't need it. Though I totally recognize why you might want it, and I think that may hurt sales a little bit by not having that as an option. So hopefully they do add it in the next couple of years. The 2022 Ford Maverick Hybrid starts at $21,490 with delivery. It has awesome steel wheels and really has everything you could likely need from a car. The only downside is there's no cruise control on the base truck. Not just lacking adaptive cruise, but cruise control altogether. That's why we did at least spring for the XLT. Our fully loaded Lariat model has a sticker price of $31,000. The Hyundai Santa Cruz is literally the only other truck in this segment, and we think the Maverick beats it in a lot of ways. Additionally, since Ford calls it a car replacement, let's also compare it to a compact sedan of a similar price, the Nissan Sentra. The Santa Cruz makes 191 horsepower in its base trim. That's the exact same amount of power you get from the Ford Maverick Hybrid. The Sentra makes the least amount of power with 149 horsepower. Now, let's move on to fuel economy. The Santa Cruz is rated at 23 MPG combined. For a vehicle that size, it's not bad. The Sentra is rated at 33 MPG combined, which again is a solid number and a reasonably frugal vehicle. The Maverick is the big winner with a combined rating of 37 MPG, and the city rating is a whopping 42. Finally, let's look at towing. The Santa Cruz is rated to tow 3,500 pounds, which is the most of the three. The Maverick can tow a respectable 2,000 pounds in front drive hybrid trim. And the Sentra? Well, it doesn't tow at all. Let's rehash some of the things we liked and didn't like about the new Maverick Hybrid. The fuel economy is fantastic, even when compared to non-trucks at this price point. The truck supports DIY buyers and encourages them to make their own accessories. Plus, the price can't be beat. We'd like a damped tailgate, even if it adds some cost to the vehicle. We also wish that you could get the hybrid in all-wheel drive for those who live in wintry climates. The Maverick Hybrid is a fantastic pickup truck, and they'll sell every single one of them that they can make. With a starting price at just over $20,000, it's a no-brainer of a purchase. Ford understands pickup trucks, and Ford understands pickup truck buyers. Once you buy a pickup truck, you're more likely to buy another one. The Ford Maverick is the ultimate gateway drug into future truck ownership. Clever. What are your thoughts on the Maverick? Do you think Ford has a hit on its hands? Let us know in the comments section below. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe so you can see our latest coverage as soon as it goes live. For more electrified pickup truck news, visit evpulse.com.